its application to the young budding lawyers. Lordship, please.
Dear brothers, Justice Satish Kumar and Justice Dandapani, Sri P.S. Raman, the Advocate General, who has had to leave early, Sri Justice K.N. Basha, who was one of the first persons I met from the Madras judiciary, though by then he had demitted office, and he had come as a resource person at the National Judicial Academy in September 2013. And from that time onwards, we formed a mutual admiration society. Sri Amal Raj, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Sri Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate and Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Sri Karthikeyan, Sri Ravi, Sri Edwin Prabhakar, Mrs. Priscilla Pandian, Mr. D. Saravanan, office bearers of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, members of the legal fraternity, future leaders of the bar. Don't I get a clap for that to call you all? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. For a moment I thought, whose felicitation was going on here? Was it my felicitation or to felicitate all the budding young lawyers who are just waiting to go in top gear into the legal profession? It gives me immense pleasure to be here on this solemn occasion of Law Day and the enrollment function of 1,200 plus young lawyers. This state, this Tamilagam, has proved one thing ever since I have come here. We have the largest number of lady judges. And the other day when I went for a function to felicitate the newly appointed judicial officers, out of 230, 125 were women and 95 were men. And today I find I heard somebody say over 500 are here. Kudos to all of you and to this great state to encourage ladies, the girls, to get into this legal profession. This event is not a mere formality but a poignant reminder of the responsibilities that come with the privilege of practicing law. The speakers before me have spoken a lot about what is constitution, etc., etc. But what I'm going to tell you is the topic given is ethics and etiquette in the legal profession, and I'm going to speak to you from my heart. First of all, there has to be an element of trust. First of all, you have to trust yourself, and the clients have to trust you, and more importantly, the judges have to trust you. I would pitch the level so high that the trust that a judge should develop in you as a lawyer is if you say sun rises in the west, the judge will not dismiss it. He may think, possibly. That's the element of trust you should have. The judges should develop in you. There is a saying, character is what you think about yourself, reputation is what others think about you. Many may say, I don't care for reputation. I know my character, I know myself. But when you go as a professional and you're basically the spokesperson for the client who has some litigation, some issue, you have to develop a reputation that this person is not someone who will pull a fast one. In fact, you have to make the court comfortable, not to be on the guard all the time to expect some googly from the lawyers. A lot of things during your practice you will come to know about your clients. A client will come and tell you a lot of things in confidence. Confidentiality building is very, very important. There are a lot of privileged information that you would get from your client. Please do not even discuss about it with your shadow. Because that confidence you have to keep, maintain the absolute secret on what you hear from your client. Professional courtesy. Please, it's absolutely very, very necessary. As much as you would want others to be courteous to you, you ought to be courteous to others. You treat others the way you want others to treat you. Because you should remember one thing, it's not a personal war that you are fighting. You are only a representative. And so long as you do your work dispassionately, you will be able to even tell your client that what they think and what they want is not correct. When somebody asks you for an opinion, you should give the opinion what you think is correct and not what your client would want to hear. Just as the Advocate General mentioned about reading. Reading is very, very important. And I would say not just the judgments and precedents and the law book. Over a period it gets boring. You must read everything. You should have your ears to the ground. You should know what is happening. And anything that you read is information that you are gathering. You never know when and in what situation you may have to churn it out of your brain to use it in a matter that you are doing. So please keep reading, and reading. Read various topics you can read. When like a normal newspaper that you would read books on or magazines relating to economics, finance, etc., so that you are aware as to what is happening. It's not, when you approach a matter, it's not what just the law says. The way you approach should be an all-encompassing, knowing the factual situation, how in-ground reality issues work. Mistakes. There was a matter where when the 1996 Act, Arbitration Act, came into force, I was put on the job for an American multinational. Within few months, I made a mistake. I applied under Section 11 in Bombay, whereas it should have been an international arbitration and application should have been made in the Supreme Court. The first day the matter came up, before those days the Chief Justice would hear the Section 11 application. The moment the matter was called out, my opponent said, the applicant is an American company and it is international arbitration. This court has no jurisdiction. I told the Chief Justice, I'm sorry, I think I have made a mistake. Could you keep it next week? Let me take instructions. I came back to the chamber, told my senior, and my senior said, first thing you should do is pick up the telephone, talk to your client, and tell that you made a mistake. And I should tell you, when I spoke to the client and said I made a mistake, the client I couldn't believe. He said, Thank you very much for telling me that you made a mistake. We will engage lawyers in Delhi to get this arbitrators appointed. But I can only assure you one thing, you will do the arbitration for us, because that's the element of faith we have in you. And that was one of the finest clients I had, because the element of trust a client should have in you. You may win, you may lose. So long as the client has confidence you are doing the right thing and you are working for the interest of the client, you have got a permanent client who will be taking care of your fees. At court, when you are in the court, when you are arguing a matter, naturally every time, even you would, in your own conscience, in your mind, know that you don't have a fairly good case. Or perhaps you feel that you have a good case, but it is not necessary that the judge always agrees with you. The judge may have his own perception about a matter or her own perception of a matter. Please maintain the tone and the courtesy that you would show to the judge. No client is worth upsetting the judge. It's not a personal fight that you are having. You're only presenting a case and to see that your client gets justice. If the court is not correct, you have the appeal remedies available. So please maintain your manners in court. Show mutual respect to everybody. Don't expect to win all cases. And most importantly, honesty. Some of the speakers mentioned about be truthful. You're all young. Money is very hard to come, particularly in your initial stages of practice. We have all gone through it. It's been tough. And when you have parents who want you to grow on your own, and the day you get your LLB degree, say you're now cut off, fend for yourself, it becomes very tough. This is the path in your career, the aisle that you see here. It's a very, very slippery aisle. Do not, I repeat, do not succumb to temptation. You might have situation when you are hard pressed. You might be getting temptations, but please do not succumb to any temptation, because first of all, you will lose in your own eyes. You will fall in grace in your own eyes. And secondly, the path is so slippery that you will never be able to rise again. It's only one way down, morally and in every respect. It's a slippery slope. So please do not succumb to any temptation. We read the pledge about various things, but what was most noticeable is do not encourage corruption. Please do not encourage corruption. You will hear, you will talk, people will say a lot of things, but please never ever encourage corruption, because public have faith in the judiciary. Do not be a party to kill that faith that people have in judiciary. I'm not saying for a moment there is corruption happening, but there is a possibility that you might be tempted in your early stages. Please do not succumb, do not encourage. Etiquette is not merely about the outward display of manners, but about respect for the law, for the court, and for all those involved in the judicial process. In the courtroom, etiquette facilitates the smooth functioning of justice. It helps maintain decorum, discipline, and a sense of solemnity that reflects the importance of the proceedings. Respecting the court, addressing judges appropriately, and adhering to the established practices are vital aspects of maintaining the dignity of the legal system. We, as legal professionals, set the example for others in how to conduct ourselves with dignity and courtesy. We must remember that our words, actions, and attitudes set the tone for proceedings and have an impact on the perception of justice in society. Be fair to your opponents. Many would have read about Mahabharata. Even in Mahabharata, at sunset the war will stop and it will begin again the next morning. That was the element of fairness that they followed. Unfortunately, we don't see that level of fairness nowadays, but please, the baton is in your hand. You be an example of being a fair opponent. Another thing, you're all so privileged to have parents who could afford to send you to law school, live in a hostel, have your various wishes fulfilled. There are many in this world who cannot even afford a basic education. Take an oath today like you took an oath earlier, that in your lifetime you will educate at least one child with whatever money you earn. Please keep aside a part of your income to educate people, because there are many who don't get even basic education. You have been lucky, and getting involved in charitable activities makes you a complete human being, brings out the compassion in you, and that is what makes you a human being. Keep in mind, money is not everything in life. Money comes, money goes. Don't spend your life chasing money. Take care of your family, spend time with your family, and particularly when your parents, now you're all going to be big lawyers, the leaders of the bar, and at the same time, your parents are growing old. They need you. Spend time in the evening when you go home. 10 minutes, sit with your parents, chat as to what happened during the day. Just watch the kind of happiness they will have that their child has come and told them what happened during the day. Oh, I did this, I did that, I had this. You may have had problems, so at least you will have your parents to console you. That's okay, you will have tomorrow will be a good day for you. Justice Basha, somebody mentioned about the various, I think just Mr. Prabhakaran mentioned about the various fields of practice that you could have. Those were the days when either you were a civil lawyer or a criminal lawyer. And then came a time when we became maritime lawyers. And then now you have specialization in every field. I work only on corporates. I do only NCLT, I do only environmental matters, I go only to NGT, etc. That is the kind of option you are going to have. Just imagine the variety of work you can select of what you like to do and make the best use of that, because you can do what you feel passionate about and then grow in your career in that chosen field. Let us strive to be not only skilled lawyers, but also exemplars of ethical conduct and courteous behavior. Your journey begins with the foundational values you choose to uphold, and I am confident that each of you has within you the potential to make lasting contributions to your esteemed profession. As we commemorate the Law Day, let us renew our commitment to upholding the highest standards of ethics and etiquette in our profession. Let us remember that our role is not simply to practice law, but to embody the principles of fairness, justice, and equality that form the bedrock of our society. Let us be mindful of the trust placed in us and honor our duty to serve justice, uphold the Constitution, and preserve the integrity of our legal system. In doing so, we will not only contribute to the growth and strength of our legal institutions, but also to the advancement of a just, ethical and equitable society. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bless you all.